Hello everyone, I'm Sir Kneif, and welcome to What's My Opinion. The game of today's spotlight is Resident Evil 2 Remake. You're already telling me I'm going to piss off some people with my opinion, but what the hell, let's do it. So let's start off with the good things about Resident Evil 2. It is a good horror game. The jump scares are perfectly timed, the bodies falling from the sky, don't know why they're there, but they make good jump scares. The atmosphere is great, the graphics are beautiful, and the sound effects are spot on. This game scared me a lot, and I was nervous to play through the whole game. However, over time, sadly, like most horror games, this game lost its feel. It seems to definitely be a trend with the Resident Evil games, starting at the beginning of the game, where the game is pretty scary, and then as you get to about halfway, the game loses a scare, and then definitely towards the end of the game, there is no scare. And I don't know if it's just the fact that you become normal to whatever's happening in the Resident Evil games, but especially the past few, like 7, it was very scary at first, and then about 50% way through, the area changed, and it just started losing its fear, just like with this one. The police station being the scariest place in my opinion, then going down to the sewer, which was just the most cancerous place in my opinion, and it didn't really have much scare. It got me once or twice with those little poison monsters jumping out because I just wasn't expecting them to come out of the water, and then the lab, of course. The lab being the least scariest place, but it had one of the coolest enemies, the little vine dudes. I forget whatever the hell they're called. Now let's move on to what is some cons in my opinion, so to speak. Knife durability. What the hell is with a K-bar knife having a durability on it? I don't know about it. I don't know why they decided this was a good idea to put a durability on a knife bar, and just, this isn't a big con, but it just, I like my melee weapons to have a infinite health bar, not poke a rotting corpse 3 times with it and then it breaks. Why does a K-bar military knife break after 3 stabs? To me, that does not make good game logic. We are stabbing rotting corpses and they break. Which brings me on to my next kind of con. This is actually a big con. This actually made me rage quit several times. Leon and Hunk. 2 trained characters. Leon passed Police Academy. In Police Academy, you get hand-to-hand combat. Hunk, he is a freaking... He's nicknamed Grim Reaper, and he's trained by Umbrella. He looks like a Spetsnaz, SAS, whatever kind of guy. He looks like Spec Ops. Why the hell can Leon and Hunk not shove off 1 zombie? That's it. 1 rotting corpse. That's all I'm asking for. 1 little bitty rotten corpse grabs us. We should be able to push it off, punch it, do something. If you have a grenade in your inventory, you could stick the grenade in their mouth and shove them away. Why can't Leon and Hunk just shove them away as is with their hand-to-hand combat training? Fine, if 2 or 3 of them grab them, whatever, and, you know, if 2 of them grab, or 1 gets grab them from behind, I understand that. And I'm not asking to fight off the sewer monsters in hand-to-hand combat, but 1 simple zombie. You should be able to push that zombie off. What about the ones that grab your leg and stare at you for 10 seconds before they bite you? You have to have a knife or a grenade to get rid of them? What about the fucking handgun I'm holding with a full magazine? But no, we're not allowed to do that. You know, at least the standing zombies grab us and we stick up both our arms to prevent them from biting us in the face. So clearly our handgun's either on the floor or in our holster whenever a standing zombie grabs us. But the zombie's on the floor. Both our hands are free. We were probably holding a weapon when we got grabbed, so we should be able to shoot that zombie with said weapon. Moving on, speaking of monsters, the poison monsters. I personally wasn't not a big fan of them. Overall, they were actually pretty cool design monsters, and props to the person who modeled them. They looked beautiful, well, and beautiful in a horror standpoint. But overall, the poison aspect, which was something new that was introduced to Resident Evil, for me at least, I've come from 4, 5, 6, and 7, and there was no poison in those to the best of my knowledge. The poison was just annoying. It wouldn't have been that bad, in my opinion, had you not had the character say every 5 seconds, gotta get this poison out, gotta get this poison out, gotta get the toxin out, can't breathe, gotta get poison out. Shut the hell up, I know you're poisoned. I'm playing the game. I don't need you telling me every 2 seconds in my ear to get the toxin out. There's not blue herbs laying around everywhere. It might be 3 or 4 minutes before I make it to the next one. So please, shut the hell up. I just felt like if they were just to tone down the audio clips, the poison monsters, in my opinion, wouldn't have been that bad. That and the ear rape that they release whenever they die, they are by far the loudest enemy in the game. Resident Evil 2 already is extremely loud For at least for me it was. I had to play on like 50-60% volume, and those guys were like 100 times louder than anything else, and when they died they just released this huge scream, which is just ear rape. Honestly, had times when I fought those guys, I would just take off my headphones, shoot them until they die, and just listen to the screams through my headphones. Moving on, here we go, speedrunning. The game is basically based on speedrunning. If you don't know, they pretty much have all these rewards in set for people who can speedrun. Speedrun, and nothing else. In old Resident Evil games, if you want infinite ammo or something cool, you would just play the game. You beat it, you win the reward. Resident Evil 4, beat the game on normal, replay the game, infinite rocket launcher unlocked. Beat the secret mission or whatever that's unlocked after beating the game, you get an infinite machine gun. Then you beat it on professional, you unlock an even stronger weapon. Resident Evil 5, you beat the game, you unlock the option to buy infinite weapons or whatever. 6, I don't know about 6, and 7, I don't believe there's any infinite weapon in 7. I could be wrong. I didn't play 7 that much, and I didn't really play 6, but for all of like half an hour. So why is it in this one we need to speedrun? Now, not everyone can speedrun, and why should we speedrun a game? I'm usually against speedrunning. I speedrun a lot myself when I'm trying to get to a certain point or just trying to do something in a game like Borderlands. I've speedrun that game a lot. And now Resident Evil 2, I've speedrun it a lot. I've done S rank across the board and S rank plus. I just feel like speedrunning was a bad idea in my opinion, because you got to beat it in like 2.5 hours or 2 hours and only save 3 times. That's a lot of work, and I personally feel like the average player won't be able to do that in the time frame. Maybe still keep it as a only save 3 times, but give the player lots of time. Don't time them. Let them plan out their next move. We need to be strategic and stuff, but you can't be strategic when you got a 2-hour time limit and you're trying to beat a game that, you know, takes quite a while if you get stuck or if you screw up and things like that. That part's not just my opinion. It's not that big of a deal. I just feel like to the average person, speedrunning is a bit much, and it really shouldn't be enforced if you want to get the secret weapons and things like that, like the infinite minigun and rocket launcher. I know the machine gun, it's like the L5 or something, it's like a little MP5, and the Samurai Edge infinite ammo, they're pretty easy to get. You just gotta beat the game in like 3.5 hours, 4 hours, but still the point remains that's a time limit and it's kind of speed running. Sure, it may be an easy speed run, but not everyone can do it, and if someone wants to replay the game and enjoy infinite ammo, they have to figure out how to speed run and get really, really good at that, and I feel like that's just a negative thing to have in a game. Last topic I'm going to discuss that I can think of right now is Mr. X. I've never played the original Resident Evil 2, and so I don't know if he was actually in there or not, but Mr. X, or the Tyrant, or whatever the hell you want to call him, he has got to be the most disappointing and just terrible enemy I have seen in a video game. There is nothing scary about this guy. All he does is stomp around with his 800-pound ass running through a freaking police station. Chasing, he's not even running. You're faster than him. There's literally no fear. Yeah, okay, I clenched my butt cheeks whenever he was about to punch me. Who doesn't? You know, I don't want to get punched in the back of the head and thrown from one side of the hallway to the other. Yeah, but he's not scared. He literally wears a trench coat and a freaking fedora stomping around the house. There's nothing scary about that. He's easy to run around with. You got a grenade, pop it on the ground there. I personally like the mod, No X, or whatever that mod was called, that gets rid of Mr. X, because he's so pointless. You take a nice horror game, all these nice sound effects that your freaking development team put time into, the screams in the background, zombies moaning, creaking of the floors, and then all of a sudden just an 800-pound man come running through the hallway. So it kind of just breaks the immersion, and he's not very scary, in my opinion. And I would just like to say that overall, I do think Resident Evil 2 Remake is a good game, but just these few little cons really hold me back. Oh, another con. Why? This is probably the #1 con in my opinion, and what pretty much broke the game for me. Why are zombies bullet sponges? Again, I never played the original Resident Evil 2. I made a comment on this on Steam, and I got a lot of hate for it. And a lot of people was like, oh, you should play the original Resident Evil 2, whatever, you're dumb and shit. They are rotting corpses, and in this era of Resident Evil in the timeline, they are more zombie-like than ever. Resident Evil 4 zombies, they're not really zombies. They're infected civilians of a third world country that are under the control of a main bad guy, and they can take a few bullets, but they're still human, so they're not fully rotting. I completely understand them taking a few bullets and things like that and being hard. Those non-rotting corpses and zombies that are all under control in Resident Evil 4 take less bullets than a rotting corpse that takes like 8 or 9 handgun shells just to fully kill. Handgun shells, yeah, no, handgun bullets, and sometimes they can take 2 to 3 shotgun shells. I feel like from a game point, it should take 2 to 3 rounds to kill a rotting corpse, and that's it. It's just, to me, it's just terrible game mechanics to have a zombie, a rotting corpse, take 8 handgun rounds or more. Sometimes they can take more. Sometimes you'll sit there and put the zombie down, put 8 rounds into it. He won't get back up. You'll leave the area. You'll think he's dead, and then you come back, and then he's not dead. It's terrible. One more complaint that I have right now is I hate how linear the gameplay is. Not so much the story, but more of the gameplay and exploring. And I know most of the Resident Evil games were pretty much linear. One of the examples I can think of, though, is 4 and 5. 4 and 5 were semi-open world. 4 more than 5, but still. When the zombies were spawning, there was a set amount of zombies inside this quote-unquote open world area. And when you went around and played the game for the first time, you could go inside of a house, open a door, and the zombies outside, depending on where you were standing inside the house and where you moved, it would change how they made their way inside the house. They would go through a window, climb a ladder, come from the second floor, whatever. So your first time playing the game, you could walk into a bedroom, loot something, turn around, have a zombie in your face, but what the fuck, where'd you come from? And then your second time playing the game, that guy could never be there because it all depends on where you move. That little subtle thing about how the zombies were programmed to follow the player adds its own sort of randomness to a game whenever you replay, and in a way adds a little bit of replayability. It's not a big deal, but those little bitty things count in my book. Resident Evil 2, everything is scripted to a dot. Every single enemy. I've replayed the game probably about 40 or 50 times, going for S plus and S ranking and stuff, especially S plus. That's the one that killed me. I learned every single spawn point, and nothing surprised me anymore because they were all scripted so perfectly that it happened every single time. There was no randomness to it. The zombie that came through that window last time will come through the window again whenever I replay the game. Again, it's not that big of a deal. Just to me, it kind of removed away some of the random ability or whatever, replayability kind of shit that 4 and 5 have when a zombie may or may not be in the same building he was the first time you played the game. Overall, Resident Evil 2 Remake was a good game, and I have enjoyed playing it, and I'm still playing occasionally. You know, I run around there, screw around with the infinite minigun and rocket launcher from time to time and just chillax and stuff. But just these cons just really destroyed the game for me. I cannot recommend it. I'm really sad that I pre-ordered the game because I jumped on the train because I was like, oh, Resident Evil's good and things like that. Everyone loved part 2. Let me get it. And then I kind of feel like it was a waste of like $65. $65 now because Steam has taxes and shit. So that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. Voice your opinions, rant, complain, scream, fuck me if I, voice something completely opposite of your opinion. Just respect everyone's opinion down below and just respect each other, rant to your heart's content, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys in the next episode.